The time is now. Real change will only happen when we all take responsibility and action for our whānau and support them to be the best they can be.
Our parents always told us when we were not being tika, not being correct in what we were doing, in our behaviour, they always pulled us in. So we learnt from that we have a responsibility to pull in our children when they're naughty.
One of the most important things for families, for whānau, is to be secure in knowing where the boundaries are. That there has to be boundaries. That a young child knows, no, you cannot do that. No, you cannot. And keep up the no, you cannot until it's clear in their mind there's a boundary.
For my son, I pretty much put the mother's hat on and just tell him it's just not okay, mate. It's not the right choice to make. Being angry, being frustrated, it's all part of the package of emotions that you have to go through, and punching holes in the wall, it's just not right for the grandchildren or the daughter-in-law.
We tend to be very hard on ourselves, and we've got a lot of behaviours that actually we shut ourselves down. It's Māori men particularly, because they've grown up to be staunch and they have to handle stuff, and we don't naturally talk about how we are feeling, and that can sometimes sit with us and cause all sorts of internal pressures which then come out in ugly ways.
First of all, you've got to deal with yourself. Now I've learnt how to process my anger now, and I still get angry, don't get me wrong. We're entitled to a bad hair day now and again, and like laughing is an emotion, so is anger. But there is that thin line that you can cross over where you want to do bodily damage to another person. So I stopped short of that.
I knew that what I was doing was wrong, but I didn't know how to access help, and I didn't know. I was very proud, I was very young, and I felt that I could deal with it there, but I saw that my behaviour and my acting out was affecting all the people that I loved the very most, and that if I wanted to fix it, then I was the one that was causing the trouble, and I was the one that needed to go and reach out for help.
How hard is it to sit in a room with a man or a perpetrator of violence and have that conversation to say, I believe in you, you can do this? Sometimes that's actually all it takes, is those words, I believe in you. Bro, you can do this.
I may be fizzing at the bum, but I've learned to deal with it, go for a walk, or do something that I like doing, jump on my motorbike and go for a ride. And then when I come back home, my wife and I sit down, we communicate.
How can we ever say, oh, in this work, oh yeah, but you can change, if we don't have some kind of hope that we can see some kind of seed of potential in every single human being.
And yes, if he's in trouble with the police, then we'll go in and we'll support him through that whole thing, so that in the end they know that it doesn't matter how naughty they are, that their whānau will always stand beside them.
We practice whānau ora, and we know that in practicing whānau ora, that number one, we want to be a very strong and independent whānau wherever we are, whether it be at home or whether it be living outside of our tribal lands. Number two, we know that regardless as to where we live, that we have to be respectful to the mana whenua of that rohe, and to abide essentially by their kaupapa while we live there, but also remembering who we are and our obligations back to home. And I guess the third thing that I would expect is that we practice manaakitanga wherever we are. I think those are important concepts.
A lot of people where we live and that we work with the transient families, so they have no connection into their marae, they have no connection back to where they came from, so they've lived there 30, 50 years. They have no connection to the local marae, so we become that. And so the accountability and the responsibility lies with us as an agency with people that work around us, and we will help to grow their children up.
Ki te whai au, ki te ao marama, ki he